where the bad pianos start to show. Keys all out of tune, just watch them go. Welcome to Adam and Joe talking nonsense on the Outside Scoop podcast show.
And welcome to the Outside Scoop with me, Joe, and him,
Adam.
Today is a special edition episode.
Yeah, we're not numbering this one.
No, and we're going to be talking about the Penrith Beer Festival. It is in 5 days' time. Today's Monday. Opening night is Friday. And I think we're just going to touch base on what's led up to this decision about running quite a large event.
It's large for us.
Based on no real practical experience of running
At all.
an event for more than 20 people.
Yeah. I want to get an idea of the emotional state, where we are.
It's a pre-match
Pre-match
interview almost.
Yeah, this is a pre-festival conflab.
Yeah.
So, okay.
So a bit of background. Last couple of years we've ran a back garden beer festival at the pub.
Yeah.
And
It's been great.
It's been good fun.
It's been really good fun.
Yeah, we've had live music and we've had different sort of real ales on. And it's been... The first year was good.
Yeah.
The weather was okay. It wasn't great, but we are in Cumbria and the weather is never great.
Sometimes it is.
Sometimes it is, but it's more often
A bit naff.
a bit naff than it is great. When it's great, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And it makes up for all the other days.
Yeah.
Last year, did an event again, and it just fell a bit flat because it was raining constantly.
But it wasn't actually the rain, was it? It was the forecast for rain. The actual rain was drizzle.
Yeah.
It was miserable's probably too strong.
It was still wet.
It was wet, and it was a
wet.
bit naff, but
Yeah.
it wasn't anything that you wouldn't expect Cumbrians to come to.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
it wasn't torrential.
And that's the trouble you face in hospitality, I think, is you're very reliant on the weather and the weather forecast. And it's very hard to, I feel, in my experience, create an accurate, predictable weather forecast for Cumbria because of the nature of the land, the valleys, the mountains, the plateaus.
As we said before, Penrith you can leave home and it will be 25 degrees. And in Penrith, we'll have smog and 6,
Yeah,
wouldn't we?
Yeah.
6 degrees and, or the other way round.
yeah.
It's,
I can my travel across. I can go for 3 or 4 different microclimates, and you travel down the M6 quite a lot,
and get exactly the same thing.
Yeah, so it's hard to get accurate weather. Anyway, whatever. It wasn't a very good turnout last year because of the weather forecast, not because people don't want to come. They enjoy it. Live music, beer, great. And from that, I turned to you and I said, "Needs to be bigger."
Needs to be bigger. I think we've got this in another podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was basically the essence of it.
It's like
It needs to be more.
the decision was, people don't want this. It could have been either let's not do it again, it's not working, or let's go bigger.
Yeah.
Because on this small scale, we got a bit of cover, but not enough to
Do the thing.
to have hundreds of people, nice and dry,
No.
music, bar,
You could probably get 100 people
maybe
if you've got the right size tent. The issue we've got is the back garden isn't set up for putting a big tent over it.
No.
You couldn't do it. There's too much. It's just not right. There's
Yeah.
too much stuff in the way.
Yeah. So thought let's go bigger, and then parked that idea for 6 months.
Yeah.
Finished last year, got Christmas out of the way, sat down in January, and I sat up at the bar. And
You and I were sitting at the end, weren't we?
yeah,
I was
you
doing
were
a bit of
working,
tippy tapping.
and I was working as well, and I just said,
Right.
right, gotta do it, gotta go big.
Gonna do it. I'm like, what are you talking about? So, right, time to do the beer festival.
Yeah, first week in January or second week of January, whenever
Something
it
like
was.
that, yeah.
We're doing the beer festival,
Yeah.
and we're doing it big.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. It's a bit scary.
it was. That's the thing with me, though. I'll just do stuff. You're the same thing. You just.
It's just, I'm doing that now.
Yeah.
It's time to do this.
Yeah. Got to plan a festival for a couple of thousand people.
There was no point in talking about it before January.
No.
Because it doesn't, there's nothing to have done.
No.
It's January, right? It's this year. Now it's time to get on with it.
Yeah, let's get on with it. So, quickly ran the numbers.
We had a quick tie-up, didn't we, on a spreadsheet?
Yeah. I think we went to get lunch or something, didn't we? Spoke about it in the car.
Yeah.
And just quickly said out loud the numbers, like, right, well, if 200 people come and they spend so-and-so, or 300 people come and spend so-and-so, or 400 people go. And it's like, no, it doesn't make sense, really. It has to be, like, 1,000 people. It has to be 2,000 people for it to work.
Yeah.
Because your costs are your costs.
Yeah.
And
your costs don't change if there's one person that turns up, or to a point, about 5,000 people.
Yeah.
The cost is the same.
The cost is the same, so...
It's only when it gets bigger from there does the cost change.
And the cost weren't too bad. I remember we were talking about it, going, the marquee's going to cost 10 grand and the security's going to be 15 and blah, blah, blah. But it all came out, reasonable.
Yeah, it's all come back well within
Yeah.
tolerances, isn't it?
Yeah. And... yeah. So we've got a plan for we've got to have the people. All the quotes came back. I was like, well, I think I can do it. I've got no money.
Not a penny.
Not a penny to do it.
Well, maybe a tenner.
Maybe 10 quid. And the cash flow from the pub can't do it.
No.
Definitely can't do it.
No.
And I was like, well, we're just going to have to sell tickets.
Yeah.
So we're just going to have to hope a certain amount of people come.
Sure about the tickets. I would, because we've never done anything like this before.
Yeah.
When you said tickets, my head was like, is it that kind of a thing? Is that... But as it's turned out, yes, it is that kind of thing.
I did a quick bit of research. There's the Keswick Beer Festival. There's one in Shap. There's a few in and around Cumbria anyway. And I had a quick look at how much they charge. And some of them are like £35 a day, £40 a day, £50 weekend passes. Some of them are like a tenner. So I totted all the costs up, and I figured that, well, if we had X amount of people come, then this is how much we have to charge, and that will cover the costs.
Yeah. Which is the point in it, isn't it?
That's what they do. They're there to cover the cost because
it
is tens of thousands of pounds.
Yeah.
It's tens of thousands. It's not a couple hundred quid for setting this up.
No, it's tens of thousands of pounds.
Tens of thousands
of
pounds.
It's needed every penny of that ticket money to get it going.
I think just the setup costs, just to open the doors, not buying beer or anything, but just have a marquee, toilets, security fencing, medics, insurance. That's all coming in at probably just shy of £20,000.
Yeah.
And that's had to come from ticket revenue. And then I've got to buy the beer on top.
Yeah.
And
which is a lot of money.
Because
now you've got to water 1,000 people.
Yeah.
That's a lot. If everyone has 4 pints, somehow you've got to buy 4,000 pints.
Yeah.
It's frightening. If there was video, you'd be seeing my eyes in shock and fear.
And it's par for the course for some venues, that kind of number, but when you're in a quiet-ish, country-ish, town-ish pub, our volumes are nowhere near that level.
No.
Nowhere near that level. So it was, I mean, we're looking at, again, maybe another £20,000 in drink.
Yeah.
And, to have that kind of money...
Sitting there.
Ready
to go.
Yeah. People don't have it. So I had to come from ticket sales. Ticket sales haven't covered everything. I've had to rely on good relationships with suppliers and vendors.
Yeah.
To help with payment terms. I like to pay for everything up front if I can. But sometimes it's just not possible.
If you haven't got it, you ain't got it.
But I can go to them and say, look, this amount of people are coming. There's going to be money there.
You're right for it after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The money will be there.
Yeah.
I just haven't got it now.
Yeah.
So I've had a good couple of suppliers do that, and they're just, they're happy to do it. And as long as I get them paid up after the festival,
we're
cushy. But doing it all on no money
and no idea.
Learned a lot. There's a lot of things there's a lot of things you can take from just doing a little event in your beer garden and scaling it up. There are some similarities, but the bigger it's got, the more serious it's got with paperwork, compliance, health and safety.
Well, your
regs.
event management plan went from, a 10-page thing that we nicked off someone else and amended it to, over the 6 months, it's now a bespoke document for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everything has been changed and added, and the original thing that we found to act as a framework isn't even there anymore.
Nearly 200 pages of event
Is it
management.
200 pages now?
Yeah, and that covers
Wow.
risk assessments, security, sound assessments, food, traffic, parking, helipads.
Yeah, they did mention it, didn't they?
And I think what was interesting though was like how involved the council are in it, and I think a lot of people badmouth the council. I think they've been great.
Mostly.
We're having a bit of a fight at the moment because a bit of paperwork wasn't done. I wasn't aware it needed to be done. I thought it was done with another piece of paperwork,
But no.
but I think we're getting there.
Good.
I think we're getting there. That's the only thing that could probably stop it now. It's not having that piece of
I
paperwork.
don't think it will. I don't think they could do that.
No,
I mean, they could do that. I don't think they would do
a
that.
lot of very angry people.
And they'd all be pointed towards them,
Yeah.
wouldn't it?
So yeah, I think that's where I'm really with it. I haven't learned any lessons yet. I'll learn them once the festival's done.
Yeah.
I'll know for next time this is what we need to do.
It's not really been a lesson learning exercise. It's been a understanding exercise more than anything, isn't it?
Yeah.
We had a really good understanding of what was probably needed, with your background in everything and my background in construction. You kind of go, well, what would you need on a building site?
Yeah.
Well, it's probably going to be pretty similar,
Yeah.
and we've pushed from there, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's exciting.
It's yeah. It's quite scary.
It's the biggest thing
Ever.
that we've done ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
And some people, it's just part of the course, but we all start from somewhere.
Well, you've got to start at some level, haven't you?
Yeah. And I think it's going to be really good. We've got everything's branded from bin bag to
Yeah, so my wife's doing the stickers for the bins.
yeah.
You and I went and did stencils on the ticket office and the barrels for the propping barrels.
Yeah.
So they're all stenciled and branded.
Yeah.
We've got T-shirts,
High vis.
high vis.
Yeah. I was looking at sunglasses over the weekend.
Was that?
I think I'll do that next year.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. There's all this stuff I want to buy, but it's all like, I can't buy it.
No, also lead times, isn't it?
Yeah. And this,
But that would be cool, wouldn't it?
yeah.
Penrith
Money's
Beer
not
Festival
there.
glasses for a £5 each, tenner each. Yeah, that's cool. And the weather is questionable.
Yeah. It's the one thing you can't control, and it would have been great to have perfect weather.
Yeah. What is good this year is the forecast isn't putting a dampener on it. Last year, the forecast was, it's going to be monsoon weather. There's going to be 1,000 millimetres of rain in 15 minutes,
Yeah.
wasn't it? And really, like I said earlier, it was just drizzle. Whereas this year, they're sort of saying, it could be wet. We don't really know yet.
It's just going to be normal wet, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just normal passing showers.
Cumbrian drizzle.
But we've got a huge marquee, over 6,000 square foot of covered beer drinking.
We stepped it out
tentage.
there earlier on, didn't we?
Yeah, it's huge.
It's massive. It's the biggest thing I've ever seen in a field that isn't there yet.
It's not like a 3x3 marquee
No.
in your back garden for your 18th birthday or
It's
whatever, is
massive, isn't it?
it? And yeah, it's been good. It's been good. Next year, I think I'll push the sponsorship thing more.
Yeah.
No sponsorship on this one.
No.
The only way this has been funded has been completely through patrons to the festival and the goodwill of some suppliers
Yeah.
and enabling the credit terms.
Yeah.
If that didn't happen,
Wouldn't be happening.
we wouldn't have the event.
No.
So I think what I'd love to get this for next year is some sponsorship, and I'll be able to go to them. Look, this is the event. This is what
Yeah,
happened
this is
last
what
year.
we did.
You were there.
We predict more.
Yeah. And if I can get that sponsorship, that means I can just make the tickets cheaper as well.
Well, if you can make tickets cheaper, more people will come.
You know me, I'm not about mugging people off.
No. I mean,
there's got to be profit made.
You haven't made any money for 10 years.
Yeah. I don't like mugging people off, and I try to keep pricing as fair as possible.
Yeah.
And as low as possible.
Yeah.
And if I can raise a few £1,000, £10,000 in sponsorship, then that will negate a lot of costs.
Well, it will really help out, won't it? It will make the process much easier.
Yeah.
You know, because
if I can bring the tickets down to a tenner.
Well, if you could do that, it'd be great, wouldn't it? It would be really good if you could do that, because people appreciate that as well. Yeah. You know, and also the sponsor can get they can get the kudos for it, can't they? They can get thanks to these guys. You know, we were able to put the tickets prices down. So you know,
and I don't think I'll ever do free tickets. And the only reason I say that is because you need that commitment from people.
Yeah.
Because part of buying the selling the tickets is so you know how many people are coming.
Yeah, because the council asks how many people are coming.
Yeah. Without
a ticket sale, with money on the other side of it.
Yeah.
You've got no idea.
No idea, and you need to buy the beer.
Yeah.
I need to know if I'm buying beer for 100 people or 1,000 people.
Yeah, exactly. And buying that much beer is not something you can go and, you know, pop down Tesco's and pick up. You can't do that. You can't. You know, it has to be arranged months in advance.
Yeah.
And if it ain't, you ain't doing it. You ain't getting it.
Yeah.
So you've got to know this stuff.
Yeah. So it's you can't buy that amount of beer.
No.
You need to know, because you either buy too much beer or you don't buy enough beer.
The ideal solution is it's a bit like a racing car.
Yeah.
A race car, the ideal race engine breaks down as you go over the line.
Yeah.
Because that was as powerful and as durable as it needed to be. And it's the same with a beer festival. At 5 to 11, quarter to 11, you want to sell the last pint.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Yeah.
And then it's done.
Yeah. What I don't want to do is have 1,000 people turn up on Friday.
Yeah.
And I'll have and sell all the beer.
Yeah.
And have nothing for Saturday.
No. So we do have a contingency.
Yeah.
But not to cover that.
No.
You know, we can't cover 1,000 people turning up.
So that's why ticket sales are important. It's the revenue, buying from the customer, and then you know how many people are coming. Because it all relies on how many people are coming.
Yeah.
Insurance, marquee size, the amount of toilets.
Yeah.
It's all important.
Especially the well, it's all of that, isn't it? It is every single thing there.
Yeah.
Because if 10 people turned up, well, we could just do it in the pub.
Pub.
That's the thing, isn't it? I think we said this on a previous episode, but all we needed was 20 people last year.
Yeah, if 20 people turned up last year, I'd be like, it's fine.
It was enough, wasn't it? 20 people was plenty.
Yeah.
You know, it would have paid enough money. There'd have been a bit of profit on it.
Yeah.
And we'd have gone, we'll do it again this year in the pub.
Yeah.
But so because we didn't get 20 people, now we need 1,000.
Now we need 1,000 or more.
Or more.
So yeah, I think I know what I'll do different next year. I think I'll just change a bit of my social media. I'll make a better website. I just don't have time for that, or the inclination or motivation to do a good website. But I'll do that for next year. I think I'll maybe add a few other sort of bits and pieces to it. And if I do get a sponsorship, then I'll be able to give out some freebies to some people, because that's been the big question. What do I get for my money? Well, you get access to the festival. That's what you get for your money.
Yeah.
You get entertaining all night, all day.
Yeah. Well, let's not forget that you've got bands all day long that you've paid for. That's what you paid for, is the bands.
Yeah. And because beer festivals, they tend to give you, like, whether it's a cup or a glass or something, a little souvenir of the day. And I've not been able to do that this year because the costs are too high.
Well, they get a plastic cup with every pint.
Yeah, I'll do. Get a Sharpie. They can write cross keys.
Write whatever they want on it. Penrith Beer Festival.
on the cup. Not to say that we'll be able to do that in the future.
It's just not. Everything takes so much organising.
Yeah.
If you was to do, because you can't do glass.
No glass on the field.
So that's the first problem. So now you're doing plastic. So now
we're holding the festival on a rugby pitch. So it can't be glass because if there's any broken glass,
You have to go around and pick it all up,
yeah,
didn't you?
in fear of somebody smashing their leg open.
Yeah, when they're being tackled.
Yeah,
So you then got to source plastic mugs,
yeah,
and that's just a whole thing.
yeah.
It's a whole thing, isn't
the
it?
whole thing.
It's a whole. I mean, that is on its own. That's 2 weeks' work.
Yeah.
Trying to make that happen.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any other location in Penrith. I've been having a look since I've sort of booked the spot out to see if there is any other locations, sort of in and around Penrith. That makes sense, and there isn't really. That field in
It's the
Frenchfield.
closest field to do it in as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, it is a bit. It's not in Penrith,
No,
but it is on Penrith.
and because it's just down the road, and it's just say 20 seconds outside of Penrith.
Yeah.
It's walkable. For a lot of people, it's walkable. In fact, it's walkable for most people in Penrith because Penrith is quite a small, narrow, long town.
Well, you can
kind of
walk
thing.
from one end of Penrith to the other in 40 minutes.
Yeah. So
From right out to right out.
yeah, it's a good location for that, and then it's good from that sound pollution point of view, which is always the biggest thing which
Sticking
I fight
point.
against. Is what about the sound? The sound.
Yeah.
And being where it is, there's no residential houses around it.
It's pretty well protected.
It's sort of in a
bowl.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a good location for that. But it's I don't know how I feel about the whole thing yet.
It's a bit. Well,
You say you're shitting yourself.
yeah. I dread to think what you're feeling. Joe doesn't. I tend to wear my emotions on my sleeve, and Joe buries them deep down inside.
Deep down.
But yeah, I can imagine that at the moment. Well, we already know there's a few little, not sleepless nights, but short sleeping nights, isn't there? There's.
As I remember things, or
You've had your laptop next to the bed in case you need to note things down.
or quickly buy something or organise something, send an email,
Yeah.
and it'll be fine.
Well, it has to be, doesn't it? It has to be. It's
It'll
gonna
be fine.
It will be all right.
Go 1,000 drunk people over the weekend, and it's all gonna be fine.
Oh God.
It's gonna be fine, and we'll follow up on it next week.
Yeah, we're gonna do another
We'll
podcast
do a
Monday,
post-mortem,
and we'll
dissect what's happened.
yeah, and we'll talk about all the problems and all the issues and all the things that went well.
Yeah.
This time next week, it'll all be over.
Oh, yeah. And then I don't know what to do for the rest of the year.
Wow, that's another podcast for another day, isn't it?
What am I going to do for the rest of the year?
Watch
So-
this space.
Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, God. It's happening, isn't it?
Joe just pulled his hat over his eyes.
Oh, God.
What have you done?
What have I done?
All you had to do was nothing.
I could have just had a piss up in the back garden, couldn't I?
Yeah, we could have just had a piss up in the garden, done what we do every year, but no. 20 people didn't turn up, so now we're in this mess.
Oh, God.
It'll be fine.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
God. Right then. Well,
We might see you next week.
we might see you next week if we hadn't had to run to Mexico. Right, thanks for listening.
Subscribe.
Like and share.
Where the bad pianos start to show, keys all out of tune, just watch them go. Welcome to Adam and Joe talking nonsense on the Outside Scoop podcast show.